at all, you know? And I also, you know what, because we're all celebrating good times, come on. Let's bring up our stat of the day. This is something that's kind of crazy to think about it. There was actually a line from a Sheryl Crow and Kid Rock song, I ain't seen the sunshine in blank 3 days.
Picture.
And it really has been. I put your picture away. Check it out. Sunday afternoon, 4:30 was the last time I haven't seen an overcast sky in Charlotte. Now, this comes with a grain of salt because there's some areas that maybe you saw breaking it. I didn't see sunshine for 3 days. But how I look at this is you go through the hour-by-hour data through Charlotte Douglas International Airport, and when it says OVC, overcast, that means 100% cloud cover across the area. There was only 3 times of this 3-day period that there was a break in that, but you still had clouds across multiple levels that there was no sunshine. So you might have seen a brighter overcast, but no actual blue sky. Last time we saw that was 4:30 on Sunday afternoon. It was sunny in the afternoon. It became overcast. It came back a little bit before it was completely cloudy for over 3 days. So finally, the sunshine is coming out. So not the greatest stat I've ever shared with you, but check it out. It's pretty cloudy right now over in Loudsville. I was seeing a little bit of sunshine. I saw a little bit of pink to the sky. Even though it still was a cloudy sky, when you start to see the pinks, that shows that sunshine is actually getting to the surface. And it's been so cold recently. And our Monroe camera is showing still an overcast sky, but it's a little bit brighter than it otherwise has been, so things heading in a good direction. Satellite and radar, not really too much to mention. There's a lot of rain further off towards the north. What we are seeing is a second coming. So these second batches of showers around this low, I think that we're going to be a little bit too dry for it, but I am still calling for a slight chance for a sprinkle a little bit later on. I think what's going to happen is we're going to clear out the clouds a little bit. It's not going to be perfectly sunny, just letting you know. You're just actually going to see some sunshine today, and then it could cloud things back up before things eventually are going to clear out. So I think for the first part of the day, we still have a very high on the Napa meter.
Napa meter.
Yeah.
That is a good nap.
It depends. If you have blackout curtains, yeah, anything matters.
Yeah.
For me, I've like kind of the poor man's blackout curtains, more like gray out curtains. So they kind of work, but yeah, no, it's been perfect napping weather recently. But we're actually going to be more towards the active side a little bit later on, and certainly for Halloween, the hustle and bustle begins trying to get all that candy. Real quick, because this graphic actually snuck in here. Melissa's update, officially clear of the Bahamas. It will have a chance of affecting Bermuda briefly over the next 24 to 36 hours, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal for them. Bermuda, as I've actually learned this year, has one of the biggest codes and strictest codes for building that everything really needs to be built up to withstand up to major hurricane strength. Now, any major hurricane, of course, is going to be detrimental for anything. But a tropical storm force wind is likely here. They're going to be just fine. Maybe just some slight cleanup, so just letting you know. And a fun little Bermuda fact. Well, our wind gusts today are still going to be on the breezy side. We're expecting a fresh breeze. This is really where small trees and leaves will be swaying. And those gusts will be on and off throughout the day. But today, a high of the lower 60s is still well below the normal where we should be. But what's really interesting is 53, 52, and 55. So, putting this in perspective, somebody was actually talking to me yesterday, came up to me and said, man, Chris, it feels like winter. You're not wrong, good ma'am, good sir, because 2 people actually said this to me yesterday. 52 degrees is actually our average high during the dead of winter, the coldest part of winter here. Now, of course, that's an average, so it's all over the place. And 52 often comes with sunshine, so when it's like these conditions during winter, likely we're getting snow or the 30s or the 40s. But the last time that we had 3 days in the 50s for highs was February 22nd. So it really shows that this has been more winter-like than fall-like. So, yeah, let's move on from all of this. As for tomorrow, for your trick-or-treating forecast for your Friday, Halloween, turn over those pumpkins. Let's pause real quick. Anyone carve any pumpkins?
Not me.
I did not this year.
I did yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, did
you have a picture?
No, I meant to take a picture. So I carved a big circle. Okay. That was it. Okay. No, I did a circle with bats in it, but I did it to the point where it was shaved, so it just shines through. Never doing that again.
Yeah. That's talent.
How many hours?
I don't know. But I'm just letting you know, JT and Kim were done more than an hour before I was done.
You were determined.
No nap
well,
for
well,
you.
You said, I'm going to get artsy fartsy with it, and you did.
And once you do it, and then I was just stuck there, and then I get out there, and I still have to thin it out a little bit more. But anyways, it's the 30th. If you haven't carved pumpkins, just do the classic triangles and smile. I did see one where you can cut out the triangles and put it on top of the pumpkin, and it makes a cat. So that's an easy one, too. But anyways, as you have your pumpkins out for trick-or-treaters for tomorrow.
I saw somebody wore a pumpkin as a head at the Renaissance Fair. They just put an actual real pumpkin they put it on top of their head. I was like, that's commitment.
That is dedication. Wow.
And then I
Where it
saw
came
him
from?
drink a beer through a straw. Through like they figured it out. I said, and he brought a
Okay.
big old bendy straw. Preparation for the Renaissance Fair.
I hope that he at least had a
great.
pumpkin ale or something like that, because you gotta, if you're doing pumpkin head, you gotta go all pumpkin. At least it doesn't. If it's fresh, it doesn't smell bad.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
It looked fresh,
That was good.
Okay.
Okay.
but
yeah.
it was a massive pumpkin.
Yeah. Last time I'll bring up my pumpkin patches, just letting you know, knowing what rotting pumpkins smell like.
yeah, no,
It's
yeah.
pretty
bad.
bad. But a fresh pumpkin, all right.
Great.
Okay, well that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh man, so I have more questions, but we don't have the answers. We have the lower 50s by the back end of trick or treating. So I know a lot of you probably go trick or treating from 6 to 8. I know some of it starts as early as 5. For me personally, I love going to McAdenville. It starts a little bit earlier, and also it's like you are trick-or-treating in a movie because it's so active and all the neighbors are super awesome. But another thing that's happening, it's not a holiday, but fall back.
Oh, yeah.
Fall back. So 6:31 is our sunset time today. On Sunday, our sunset time is 5:27.
Ew.
I showed you this last
Sorry,
week,
that's
earlier this week.
That's total.
Me
But-
and Jay give 2 thumbs down.
Yeah, it's not good. It's something that we know every year, and I can tell you now, but it doesn't matter. Even for me, when the sun sets or starts getting dark at 5 o'clock, it throws you off. You're like, what is this?
Right.
Yeah.
What is these shenanigans?
Yeah.
And
So
It throws everything off.
it does.
Yeah, and then you're driving from work and you haven't seen the sun all day, and you come out of an office and then it's dark.
And then
That's
it's
true.
dark.
You go in when it's dark, you leave when it's dark.
Blech.
That's going to kind of be my case.
Yeah, and the only advantage for me is I get to show sunrises at the end of our newscast
That's
on
true.
WCNC, because usually it's just check out this darkness.
Right.
I can see some clouds here and there. But this will continue to trend down. It's the first couple of weeks of December that we hit our earliest sunset time around 5:10, be advised. High temperatures today, as I mentioned, 61. Just letting you know it's going to be on and off, mixes of clouds and sunshine. We just have to be really patient getting rid of this cloud cover. As far as our lows are concerned, 43 degrees. So 43 degrees is what we're dropping down to tomorrow morning. It's 38 the morning after that. That, by the way, will be one of the coolest that we have had so far this season. So the coolest we were was October 24th, dropped down to 42. And as you can see, most of these have really happened in the last week and a half. 42, 43, 44, 44, 45. So that means the next couple of mornings will be again in this top 10, but we have not reached the 30s yet for Charlotte. We've done it in Salisbury, Statesville, I think even Albemarle, you might have done this as well, but then certainly the mountains have dropped down to freezing already, so this is actually a better chance for frost pretty much across the area. But one more recap, because we want to get our dance on. Here it is. Dance
yes.
There it is. There it is.
You're doing the Running Man.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Good job.
Oh, nice. Chris.
Good moves.
It's definitely
Is this you on
got it
screen?
yeah. No, this is
This
me.
mocap?
These
Did you
yeah.
get motion capture for this?
These are my alternative
Oh, wow. These
egos.
are your alter
yeah.
egos.
Yeah, as you can see, these
Move
these,
over, Sasha Fierce.
If you ever see me at a wedding, these are my 2 dance moves.
I like it.
Hopefully you don't see me out and about.
It's
but
the
yeah,
Monster Mash.
It's definitely undo the mash. It's definitely a forecast worth celebrating, worth dancing about. Looking at our Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast, wrapping this all up. No dancing here. Lower to the mid 60s for the most part, but one day stands up from all the rest. I will already officially announce here for the first time that next Wednesday is our pick of the week.
Next Wednesday. All right. Got that on the calendar.
Next
Looks
week's.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Does look nice.
All right. Like the dance.
Thank you very much.
Good moves. You move like Jagger.
Something like that. Maybe the monster version of Jagger.
All right. Chris Mulcahy. Oh, I just totally got excited. I ripped the button off the
Oh,
okay.
Stream
okay.
Deck.
I
Okay.
got you.
That's all right.
all
That,
good.
it
There we go.
happens. I ripped a button earlier.
On your shirt?
Yeah, no, I have done that to my suit jacket. Nothing's more humbling than bursting as a suit button saying, okay, shouldn't have had that cheesesteak last night.
Whoops. Although it was worth it,
Happens.
I'm sure.
Oh, it's 100%.
Yeah.
Always. I'm going to have one
Always
today.
good to have that great comfort food, too, in fall.
We had chili for the first time this week.
Chili.
Made chili. And so my wife is from Ohio. And if you ever dated or met someone from Ohio, they love two things. It's either a Gold Star or Skyline chili.
The
But
spaghetti, isn't it?
yeah, so they put, it's called a three-way or a four-way. So it's cheese, chili, and spaghetti. That was last night.
never had it.
Yeah, then we had coney dogs on Tuesday, and then we had chili on Monday. Today is the day we're not eating chili because we can't
it's
do
like
it.
turkey. Ways to invent.
You have to.
Chili.
Yeah.
Which I know that we're not there yet, but I have to ask you, disc cranberry sauce or the one that's actually homemade?
Disc.
100%.
Are you
yes.
a disc person?
I'm
Canned.
disc all the way.
I've now
And
that
I
I'm
only use a
older, I've
little
started
bit.
to appreciate cranberry
The
sauce now
fresh.
more. Yeah.
I
At this point,
It's
it
yeah.
all comes out the same.
It's an
I've-
it's kind of an afterthought. It's not
Oh, no.
priority for me.
I
but-
know. I already have my can of disc. It was
Oh,
on sale.
okay. Oh,
Yep.
good. Can
for
Okay.
you.
Your disc.
Yeah, not even cranberry, just canned of disc, and that it's great for sandwiches. All right. Anyways, Halloween's tomorrow. I don't want to get ahead of
Halloween's
myself.
tomorrow.
Very exciting.
I don't want to be like the big box stores jumping holidays.